the stage. It's your grand finals here for the Quake Champions Invitational. Let's get Liquid and let's get AMD and give a nice round of applause.
Two great teams coming out here. This is awesome. I mean, honestly, as soon as we started, I mean, this is who you predict.
Almost going the wrong side of the trophy right there, but they do meet in front of it.
Oh no, Cooler's going straight to it. He's like, all right, I already won, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab it now. This is gonna be an intense match, honestly. The thing is, like, the amount of history between these players individually, the amount of history over the, last 20 years that these players have put time in, the thousands of hours, if not 10,000s of hours, and coming down to this to meet on the big stage with $120,000 on the line. It's intense. The pressure can get to you.
This is what you work for, man. This is, you put all your pride and effort into this. I mean, it's tough. It's great when you win. It's tough when you lose. But, you know, these guys are great competitors. Just getting to the grand final, in my opinion, is a great accomplishment. But obviously, you want to get the win. It just feels so much better.
Has Cooler had a big win in Quake Champions?
I think he's
I don't think so.
No, I think he's been trying to break through. I mean,
he's won a Meteor Marks LAN back like way, was it like late last year? No, it was like early this year. And he played Cypher the finals, then Cypher won the next one, but that's it. Yeah, and Tox as well. I mean, he's had some really big high placings, but
it just shows how tough it is to break through at these big events. We see, I mean, these players are top notch, and especially in duels, we've seen some duels where it really has come down to like round 5, last frag, you know, maybe sudden death. I mean, they're so close. I really think it is day to day, and some players do have an edge. I think there's a top tier, obviously, but among that top tier, it's all about who's sharp. Yeah,
same thing can be said about Tox, though. I mean, last year at Dreamhack Winter, he came in second, so close to winning a grand tournament for himself. But ever since that, he really hasn't been all that successful. He's been consistent and ranking quite high, but never breaking through to that first place. So this might be the opportunity for the both of them.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much for your insights into this match. It's time to get our grand finals under the way. And who better than to do it than Zoot and Ketchup?
Thank you very much, guys. My name is Ketchup, and it's Zoot next to me, the grand finals, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling absolutely amazing. We got two fantastic teams that are here, and I've got to say straight away, these pairs of players, they're the biggest grinders on the scene. They're absolutely top tier. Both of the positions here, they're cemented, deserved. It's unbelievable the amount of work that we see these guys put in, and I think we've seen them all looking pretty comfortable in their respective sides of the bracket. Over on day one, I feel like we've got an immense finals ahead of us, but I don't want to jinx it any further. What do you reckon?
The thing is, it's just legends layered upon legends, right? Rapha and Dahang, the two strongest 2v2 players in the world, because results don't lie. They've spent basically all year ruling 2v2 with an iron fist, but as we go into a new patch, new teams form, and in this case, it's Cooler and Toxic, which is one of the absolute biggest brains in the world, paired with some of, if not the best, accuracy in the world. So this is a very scary combination, and the amount of just years of Quake experience among these 4 players is absolutely mind-blowing. This is a matchup everyone is excited for. You guys at home are excited for. You guys and girls in the crowd, I know you're looking forward to this one. USA versus Europe as well. Come on!
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm looking at Twitch chat as well. I don't know how I can side with them, but I reckon it's going to be a testing time for Liquid at the moment. They're going to have to pull out all of the stops in order to come out top. You can see that we're going into Corrupted Keep. That is our first map. Catch up. The grand finals is underway. It's AMD versus Team Liquid.
It's interesting to see what the lineup's going to be. So almost immediately, Team Liquid, they've brought out the Strog and Pika. This is the strategy that they really sort of invented. They invented the wheel in this regard. AMD are going to strike first blood. The Pika doesn't accomplish too much, and it's going to be down for a significant amount of time.
We've got LG early off the corner. They don't have position up there. We were seeing earlier in the tournament that mega side of the map is a really strong position to control, most notably in the Nemiga versus Maestro EU game. We see that Tox unfortunately has a suicide for himself there, but Cooler is keeping the score positive for them, as he's going to grab himself the heavy armor. We've got a Strog just heading in his direction. He's very weak, and he should go down here. And he just used the piercing sight, I think. So unfortunately, it's going to use all utility of that. And there's the peak, a maximum 75 damage.
That's going to be Rapha finishing the job there. Toxic's going to fall, not before Cooler is, once again, able to kind of get that refrag, of which it's picked up immediately after. 30 seconds away from the quad damage, though. This is where things are going to get a little bit interesting. I feel like unless Dahang can get himself an hourglass, he's actually not going to have the Pika ready for when this power-up spawns.
Yeah, well, Tox up to the heavy stack. He's going to look incredibly powerful. The Mega Stack is nowhere to be seen. The damage has been taken down already for that Liquid player. And here it is. These are the frags that are important on the lead up. You want to eliminate those weapons from the players or make them weak. Very good, actually. I think that Tox isn't going for the final blow, but with 5 seconds to go, he needs his teammate with him. He needs to lock down exactly the positions of where Liquid are. He's going to get the quad for a second, but the rocket. He gets the self-kill. Dahang was critically low, but he immediately has recovery with the mega health. We might see a decent first quad run of the grand final.
That's also going to be a quad damage Pika, which means that Dahang, if he knows where the two of them are, it could be a free kill. Speaking of which, here comes the kamikaze. It's destroyed moments before. That was so clutch to be able to get away, but that heavy machine gun is going to pay its daily dues. Dahang caught looking in the wrong place, but it doesn't matter. The damage output is too real, and right now, Team Liquid sitting on a small lead.
This is going to push for it. No, he doesn't do it, but he gets flanked on the sideline. Quad had already disappeared. And Cooler can at least finally shut down Tim's life, but Cooler with the heavy armor looking to push in. Rocket, initial one's gonna miss. He's suspended in the air, but still locks down the kill, chasing a 2-frag lead for the moment and constantly on the chase for those recovery health bubbles.
And the fight's taking place near LG once again. As you can actually see, because Galena being removed from play means that these kind of rushes near the teleporter by LG is a lot more common. However, if Eisen's in play, which he is on this map, there's still going to be an element of obstruction. It's not going to be a free entry.
So we have got the Pika potentially active if required. Just managed to do some tickle damage. Here comes the Pika. He's trying to circle around in the air to be harder to be hit, but I think it was the rocket actually in the end that killed it, or maybe shotgun. But these are some good types of weapons. Shotgun, I think, is the perfect counter to the Pika, and I'm surprised I sometimes don't see it used more. LG sometimes, especially with the reduced DPS, isn't going to get that frag on the Pika fast enough.
Yeah, 100%. And it's good the Super Shotgun is such a common weapon on Corrupted Keeper. You get a spawn, you're probably going to pick it up at some point. But for now, Liquid, they're sitting on a very, very small lead, with the action seems to be taking place throughout the course of the entire map. That's what I find really interesting. Dahang kind of in an unwinnable position there. The jump pad was going to guarantee his death. No way to move around, and Cooler getting a nice little turnaround rocket. And here comes the setup. Protection's going to spawn, but he understands he needs that LG. He's going to pile full speed ahead. Toxic takes out one, but it's going to be traded. Unfortunately, Dahang, he's going to be able to pick things up, and Strong with protection is a nightmare. That health vial that drops on every successful kill just makes him so healthy.
And the Pika as well, not only has he got that increased damage absorption, so does that Pika. And Dahang eventually pushing through. Rapha will take away the killing blow. He's going to try and gather some forward momentum with some rocket jumps. And even just denying the light armor in case the MD boys want to go and recover afterwards. He is taking a lot of damage, in fact. It's taking a lot in order to get the kills, and Cooler even takes him down.
Not a humongous win, though, for MD in the respect that that protection was basically gone already. Yeah. So I think it was more just pile in, do as much damage as possible. The objective was to get the 2-piece kill, and that's exactly what they achieved because Rapha finished the job. That said, here comes an honest 2-on-2. There's going to be 1 kill each. Who can finish the job here? Looks like it's probably going to be Rapha. Oh. No, the turnaround rocket from Toxic. Living to fight another day. That was a fantastic rocket right there.
They are keeping it close, and they are actually getting some really good trades at the moment. So right now, AMD are basically fighting head-to-head with Liquid. But what we usually see around the 6-7 minute mark, that's when Liquid tends to pull away from the team that they're going against. I want to see if AMD can keep up with them neck and neck for the whole way through the time limit. Keep that control going. And with players like Tox, and especially Cooler, I expect that timing to be perfect from them.
This is the nature of a grand finals, isn't it? The 2 best teams will naturally become head-to-head, and that's what's happening right now. If there's one team left in this tournament that can take it to like the North American Titans, it has to be AMD. Speaking of which, there's that 2-piece.
Wonderful work from them. Catching them out over a rocket. That information going to be relayed. Cooler flanking up on the side. You can see those little capsules on the floor, which is Dahang's Strog passive. I'll heal him up for an extra 25 health. Oh, Tox even gets a turret kill. He's going to try and just dispatch of that, but guys, we're going to quickly jump into Liquid comms.
At lava,
you're going to have to one-on-one this shit.
Okay.
Plat. He's weak on Plat.
Directed. I'm not sure where he went.
Upper rocket. 10 is Mega, though.
Play for Mega.
Yes.
You get.
I got it, 41.
54 heavy.
Okay. Careful.
I'm at Tri-Bolts.
Cooler can die on heavy.
Okay, dropping.
I did 100 to him on your left, on your left.
Yeah, okay. They're gonna get heavy.
Yep.
Good try. Should run out at like 1.
Yes.
Mega first.
11 is Mega.
A. Eisen at low outer. Hit for 80.
Yeah.
I love that they're calling out the positions as well. That, you know, looking left, looking right, even telling it, if you just aim in that general direction, that can be a support. Fortunately, though, they're going up against the power-up. AMD have managed to equalize with that, but again, brilliant contest we always expect.
To me, actually, it's the little things too. Just that little throwaway comment, nice try. Just words of encouragement can be so important when you're playing this level of play. The Kamikaze is going to hit its mark this time. That's going to hurt significantly now as they go in. Rapha finishing the job, and that's the strength of Strong and Peak, you know, that sort of like almost guaranteed damage where you're at minimal risk, especially if you know where the other team's going to be. Dahang should win this fight. He's incredibly stacked. Cooler's going to fall. And just like that, it's 23-22. This is as even as I think everyone is hoping for it to be, but the question's going to be, will Team Liquid pull away as they've been famous for?
Well, they've established a very small lead once again, but we know that hangs on a thread quite possibly, especially after we saw a solid power-up run from AMD. And actually, just a blink of an eye, the next power-up is right around the corner. This time is going to be protection in about 15 seconds' time. We've got the Pika once more. It's going to get destroyed in the air.
I must say, AMD have done a wonderful job at dealing with that Pika. You know, not only just being ready for it, but just the quick reactionary shots to just take him out. But terrorizing people earlier in the year, and here we are now.
Here it is. It looks like Rapha has been able to take it on this occasion. Dahang is incredibly low, but there is the heavy armor. This should give him some energy to push forward, even if it's into Tri-Bolt, Nailgun, rockets, whatever it happens to be. He wants to get some work done, but okay, never mind. Those rockets were amazing from Cooler. That totally slowed him down. So Rapha decides to go back and just get a 2v1 with Dahang.
Also feels to me masterful positioning from AMD. You know, the second they kind of are within rocket distance, they're kind of within a certain part of the map where it's almost impossible for them to get hit because they're just near a doorway, they're down an arch. You can't really get consistent damage. Very frustrating. Here we go. Pushes them through the teleporter, but Rapha's going to get good damage regardless. Can't really do much self-damage anymore as protection is going to run out. Did a bunch of entry damage. Is it enough? No, has to swap away, but gets the trade. Excellent rocket.
Yeah, positive trade. A 2-for-1 in favor of Liquid. And it's getting to that point in the game, isn't it? Cooler's got a really rough position. When you're on that sort of nail gun spawn and you don't have a perfect weapon to work with, you've got no escape. You've committed to the fight, and the person with the LG is usually going to take you down if they've got the health.
Cooler picking up yet another frag, and this is kind of what we were a little bit worried about. Team Liquid, they've begun to pull away as they tend to do halfway through the match, and it's kind of repeating history in effect. AMD done a good job so far, but Cooler has to be super careful. Rapha, support from above, not before getting a second kill as well, because TOXJQ was previous.
That support was insane, actually, from Rapha. I thought he was already fighting over rockets, but he's so fast to come to Dahang's aid. And so it's going to be 5 seconds now until the heavy armor's going to be up. He's looking for a shotgun on the exit, but he's going to miss the blast. He puts a turret down, but Rapha is just swinging around, has the LG out, gets a double kill. And Tox, again, the amount of times they've been punishing AMD players off of that particular part of the map, that staircase is just a danger zone. Do not go there. Go through either of the other routes.
Oh my God, Rapha landing another one of his famous just spam rockets that somehow seems to do max damage every single time. Speaking of which, here comes that quad damage. Interesting to see how they fight. Cooler, unfortunately, a valiant attempt, but it's not going to be enough. Rapha getting another double kill. That's like 3 double LG kills in a row he's been able to obtain here. Cooler's just going to drop trying to fight for heavy. A worthy attempt, but at this point, pretty risky.
And Rapha is actually just 1 frag away from dropping a 30 bomb for us here in the grand final on map 1, and it's going to go surpassing that. I know we've got our Swedish homeboy over here, but unfortunately, TOXJQ's had a bit of a nightmare of a game so far. Only managed to get 6 on the board for himself. I'm really hoping TOXJQ's going to pull through. Fortunately for the AMD guys, this is Liquid's pick, but still, they're going to want to have a good showing to build some confidence moving through the series. Right now, they need to force some mistakes from Liquid if they can just, build that scoreline into a sort of healthier amount.
Rapha's in a phenomenal position. He has a good stack. TOXJQ, yes, he did manage to just get a frag, but just the LG is too real. Wonderful weapon switch. Swapping to the heavy machine gun just a little bit earlier. He's going to be rewarded with that frag on TOXJQ, and now 4 frags away. This map is going to be done and dusted. AMD have a mammoth amount of work to do. Probably unlikely. However, this is valuable data as they go into the rest of the series.
2 more kills. Turret sitting down just around balcony. Dahang looking for that mega health. Now he's more than happy to be involved in the fight, but it looks like Rapha there is going to help him get across the line. That is going to be Team Liquid taking map 1 in the grand final. And you know, it was super close for quite a long time, but it's just at that critical halfway moment, that is when Liquid, they seem to have like, it's not really a second win because they don't seem to run out of energy. They've just got another level that they can take their gameplay to.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my point really, is that there's no elements of burnout with Team Liquid. It's intensity, it is just speed, and they don't ever stop. They never slow down, and that is so hard to do. They've been playing all day.
Yeah.
All of yesterday, they're going to be playing tomorrow with Duel as well, and it's just remarkable how they can play at this level of excellence all the time.
They did just come off playing the semifinals fairly recently. So they're showing us brilliant level now. I have no doubt we can see that coming from them all the way through the grand final. But we will be moving soon over to AMD's pick, where I'm hoping that we're going to be getting that full duration endurance from them, because we can see that they can play level with Team Liquid, but it's really when it gets to the back end of the game, that's when you've still got to have the stamina, you've still got to have the timing, and still be contested control just as hard and fast.
Well, we did see some incredible comebacks from AMD yesterday. You know, they were on the back foot significantly. I believe it was against Last Chance, wasn't it? And they just had this incredible sequence, absolutely incredible sequence, where they were down like, God, like a good 20 frags at least, and somehow they were able to win on Awoken. That's not an easy feat for any team. They've been on the back foot before at this level of play, and they've been able to win. However, Team Liquid just seems to be an entirely different beast. And it's like we said, this was their map pick, so the expected result was them taking it, and they were able to do that. But now as we go on to Tempest Shrine, that's where things become incredibly different. And we've seen some really magical things from AMD here. It's more the fact that both of them have an incredibly strong rail game, they're happy to play the distance, and they're totally comfortable keeping people at arm's reach.
It couldn't really be any more of a different arena for them to fight in right now. It's gone from the smallest arena, no rail, no long range fighting, in comparison to now the largest, items the furthest apart. Here we go, guys. We are about to move into map number 2 of the grand final. It's Tempest Shrine. We've got AMD and Team Liquid. Let's find out what kind of champions we can expect the players to be using.
I feel like this map's going to be pretty foreshadowing, Zoop. I think if Team Liquid can win this map pretty dominantly, then it's pretty much showing 2 exact styles. I would be kind of concerned after this point.
Yes. But I think what we've noticed earlier in the tournament is, you know, when Cooler's on this map, well, when both of them are, we can't split them up in this at all. They just have some fantastic strategy going on. We see some great discipline play from AMD, and I want to see some more of that. I want to see Tox sticking close by to Cooler. He's the guy who's got just incredible aim. He's got almost unparalleled combat skills. And I think he just needs to keep himself honed down, keep himself with Cooler so he can take maybe the brunt of some damage and have some positive exchanges. We're keeping it 1-to-1 though, on the early stages.
Now, I think seeing as this is grand finals, there's the potential of some people watching this who have not either seen Quake Champions in a while, or you've just turned up and here you are, you're wondering who this Aizen character is. Probably worth mentioning why he's so popular and why we'll probably see him. So this champion, obviously the newer champion in the game, his ability is the ability to put a turret on the floor. The turret will do damage to enemies, but the important thing is that it creates an obstruction, obstructing the major pickups and, more importantly, the power-up. It is a pain in the backside to deal with Aizen's turret in the important locations.
Exactly, so sometimes you have to absolutely focus fire it. Well, here we go back though into some of the exchanges. Tox will go down, he's done a decent amount of damage to Rapha. Cooler is looking for a refrag. Tox is up at the top, he might be forced into a 1-versus-1 very soon. He lands the rail, and this guy, he can be absolutely on point with the railgun. We have got the first power up coming, and he goes in with the pummel. That is going to be the quad damage for Toxic. He has the LG in front of him. Another weapon he can do wonders with. But what would be brilliant for him now is, oh, actually, if you can see up at the top, Cooler's about to have his piercing sight back up. We need to see a run start taking place. Cooler's got to make sure he doesn't die. So if he used that power up already, oh, never mind. He knows exactly where the players are. One eliminated, almost able to get a pre-fire rail around the corner.
Oh, Rapha does all he can do with that situation, really, just try and maximize his damage on the pummel, get some long-range fire, and I want to make an observation. Toxic, greatest Quake 4 player in the world, he uses every Quake 4 weapon he can. That's pretty sick.
Quite.
I'm a fan of that.
He had a 3-frag quad run on Tempest. That's like a 3-frag quad run on Tempest is actually pretty significant.
And that's
normally we're going to see +1 unit, more than 1.
I think it was the piercing sight, honestly. It's like you pointed out, the second Toxic got that information, he gunned it straight for where Team Liquid was. This is why Visor is such a dangerous champion in this game mode.
Back over to 100-100, looking for an opening rail. Little bits of chip damage, they're coming from the Liquid player. But AMD have established themselves a good early game lead. But it's, you know, there's no pausing, there's no hesitation that can be allowed. They're keeping that heavy armor control.
Yeah, there's a reason that AMD have pretty much spent the entire map on this side. You know, the second you kind of control the heavy area, there's a lot of key weapons and equipment there that is important. You've got the heavy, you've got the rocket, you've got the rail. The only thing you're lacking really is a little bit of the LG perhaps, but yeah, here comes Toxic. He's so comfortable just sitting at range and maintaining his stack, setting up for the inevitable power-up. We've seen that constantly, and here we go. A wonderful LG is going to take down Dahang. The turret is going to just be that unofficial 2 versus 1. Rapha unable to really get some footing here, and Toxic, by all accounts, should pick this one up.
He needs to get back over to the heavy in time, but he's just a little bit slow in his movement. He's going to want to punish the visor as much as he can. He just cannot find an angle. All right, so it looks like we're going to jump in quickly to AMD's comms.
Super weak. Nice, well done. I'm with you.
Take. One at the rail, just help. Rail.
Yeah, I'm kind of only having rail here.
Okay. He's going shaft.
Yep, it's rail.
I'm at rail now.
Yeah, I'm okay. Railing at banana.
Okay, I'm going shaft. One shotgun, zeros.
Yep, I'm okay.
I'm covering tribal.
Yeah. Ping C.
One actually at rail.
All right, I'm coming. You're heavy.
There's something about those comms that just puts a smile on my face, Sue.
Yeah, I was worried for the first couple of seconds, but they're absolutely on point. I mean, there's brilliant encouragement from both players. I mean, they're not too far away from a 10 frag lead. This is a really, really exceptional performance at the start of Tempest Ride, and almost a reverse of what we were getting over on Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful display of teamwork as always, but I really think it is the difference in the size of the map. The second we add those rails and we can adapt that slow and defensive style that we know, I mean, especially Cooler is world famous for. And Toxic, he's shown that he's not afraid to play slow either, and it's just a wonderful combination for a map like this.
That's actually something that I feel like I saw glimmers of in their first ever practices. I could hear the communications, and straight away Cooler was talking a lot, something that Tox didn't really have tons in his previous partners. And I think Tox, he's been able to come out of his shell a little bit, and he's also communicating really on point while also executing these difficult mechanical maneuvers.
Well, I think when you play Quake for as long as Toxic has, this kind of amazing execution is just second nature. Speaking of which, we can see the setup now as the power-up's going to spawn. Quad damage. There's going to be a bit of a 2 versus 2. Toxic bags the first blood here. We're going to see if they can get to Dahang. Trading out for now. Toxic super healthy, which puts him in a wonderful position. He is getting currently sandwiched, though Cooler needs to come in just a little bit, but at this point, does he even need it? Toxic just straight up 2v1ing Team Liquid, and now he's got the quad damage. He should be able to get some more.
He's so low on health. He manages to avoid getting railed. There is a Mega at the back end of the map for him. He's just checking that there's no one surrounding him. Even getting a little bit of damage over at the nail gun hallway, and now he can get some LG ammunition. There's a rail right in front of him. He's not incredibly healthy, but he's got enough to maybe get something in the last 5 seconds of quad. Let's see if there's a target for him.
He may not have bagged a lot of quad damage kills, but he has got the heavy, which kind of allows them to get that control back. He's got a lot of rail, he has a decent stack. Toxic has spent a lot of the map being dangerous because of this location, right? He has so many angles to hit. Speaking of which, Dahang's gonna fall. Rapha near the Mega. This could be another ambush, actually. Toxic should be able to pick this one up. He has the high ground.
He just saw Mega getting taken as well. There's actually an attack up the bounce pad. Is he going to accept? He just pushes them both right up with the knockback. And Cooler's like, cheers, mate, I'll take the rail. I got this one.
That was quite literally, you set him up and I'll knock him down. What a partnership. Now Toxic has the rail. I mean, he was like half swapping to the rail when it landed. That just looked crazy.
He sees the turret, but it's like, target or turret? I'm not sure which one to go for. And they've managed to get back to that 10 frag differential. Oh, 10-9, same thing.
They did at the time. You're still technically correct.
Yeah, I'll take it. And they've got that Mega health timing on point. They got both the players together. Tox starting to miss a couple of rails, but I won't hold it against him. He's been absolutely stunning to watch on this Springer frag. Oh, he just gets caught with the LG as he jumps in the air, and that knockback, it just feels like it takes forever to hit the floor again.
Yeah, that's always the worst time to get caught, when you're not in control of where you're going to land, especially when you're in the air. Dahang is going to swap in for the rail, misses the second shot, but goes over the rockets, still has a chance to do this here. And I feel like there's been so much control over here near Mega that we're about to see the protection all over again. Here comes another power-up, and the tide could change. They're only 6 kills ahead now.
I wonder where is AMD going to come from. Dahang stack not too bad. His weaponry is very, very good. They really need to eliminate him. That is going to be AMD just dispatching of the two AMD players immediately. And we're going to have the protection carried by Rapha.
And this should be a pretty easy fight. The turret's dishing out damage, and actually probably a little bit more damage than Rapha's comfortable with, even with those health bubbles to retreat to.
A nice rocket jump though, and he's found a clear passage over to the heavy armor. Looks like AMD just don't want to get in the way of him. Full of rotation. They'll try to assume some timing of it. It's 4 frags of difference. Cooler manages to pick off Dahang on the sidelines. They heard his protection still intact. It's just disappeared now. He's weak. There's a rail potentially on him. He's stuck in the middle. Sure that someone will come through the teleporter exit, and Tox eventually closes the gap on him. Piercing sight used. Information's now handed over, but they're just waiting patiently to try and get themselves this heavy armor. Tox dies just before it. It's going to go over to Liquid.
I know the call, that was definitely, I think, the call to take that heavy armor. Speaking of which, now they've won that fight, we do have some Liquid comms ready to go.
I spawned on Mega, I'm here.
Yes, he can die there, Chaka.
Okay.
I'm leaving him.
I got it.
The Mega 40. Another one LG. Fuck, I missed him. All right, 53 is heavy.
Trying to make him spawn at shotgun, I'm coming.
I'm coming with, I'm with, 53.
Yeah, commit.
Yes.
Bolt here. Focus visor.
I fell.
Okay, he got it.
Okay.
At 25. Committing to rail.
One's rail, careful.
Yep.
He's weak plank.
They bolt. I got one. Mega, 11.
Yes.
We're down 4.
Coming back.
One's at shotgun. I'm fighting bridge. Bridge deck. Can you get?
Yes, going fast. Got it.
Fighting plank. Actually, I'm gonna die at rail.
Okay, it's a good reset.
They're gonna get heavy. They're gonna get heavy.
Again, brilliant work there from Liquid. They've closed the gap even more now. And if you're just trying to push in those fights, they know exactly when they want to commit 100%. All bodies are going to be going that direction. We've now got the quad damage contested. This time, AMD are able to get their hands on it. So despite them relinquishing control of the lead a little bit, they might just be able to make it back.
And unfortunately, as that quad damage has been picked up pretty early as well, now Toxic gonna waste a few seconds to get this Mega, but it's gonna be, you know, a price worth paying, seeing he's now super healthy, can now tank that direct, pick up health bubbles along the way, and he can theoretically get a few more. It's unfortunate for Team Liquid they weren't able to collect that quad. You know, the second they were just about to tie things up. However, that is a wonderful rail. He's gonna call the fact that Tox is now weak. He has a heavy, but he's still gonna be slightly railable until he gets a bit more health. And there we go.
It's a safety net. You've got that heavy armor. You want to make as much use of it as possible. He runs out of LG ammunition. He really needs the lightning gun that's on the floor. He's going to step out a couple of players over by the Mega Spawn. He might get 2 versus 1. Finishes Rapha off before the hand gets the refrag. And that's going to continue keeping that 5 frag advantage.
But here we go again. Danger territory, AMD. 40 frags dealt. They just need 10 more. Cooler getting wonderfully railed into Hang. Wow. I mean, it really does just feel like you can just rely on this guy to hit the shots he needs to do. Saying that, they'll want to jinx him given the circumstances. Sorry to Hang. Either way, this guy is super solid. Unfortunately there, though, the missed rails was a bit of a death sentence. He just couldn't get away.
Brilliant support from Cooler again. And Tox must be telling him exactly which direction he's going in. He's only on 10 points of health now. He gets some rocket damage, sure that there might be a jump further forward. The tri-ball, he actually connects a little bit, and a little bit more. 6 frags a difference. They only need 8 to shut down a map.
Yeah, the danger here is that even though Liquid have been sort of catching up the entirety of this map, they're reaching a point where they don't have the chance. You know, they have to simply take him over. I know that's easier said than done, but they don't have a lot of time left. AMD just need 8 more frags, and with the mind of Cooler and Tox combined, they're not going to make it easy. I assume now they're probably going to not necessarily slow things down, but they're going to play a little bit more reserved. Let's give up as little as possible, trade if need be. The piercing sight's going to be good because Tox can just kind of run in there and cause a ruckus. Without the rail, it's going to be a little bit harder, but there's the protection. And they're not going to be too afraid, I think, of giving up, given the circumstances.
They've got to be careful not to give away too much, though, to Liquid. Fortunately for them, Liquid doesn't have loads and loads and loads themselves. Rapha has to get rid of the turret. He's got rockets if he wants to rocket jump up. He's going to go through the archways instead. Brilliant LG to rail combo from Rapha. Rocket jump up. Realizes that Tox is trying to pin him from behind, but has he got a rail? Yes, he does. Again, Rapha is able to deliver. Now brings it to 4 difference. Should see that the Mega's up, but he might want to commit with the Hang.
I think Rapha saw that the Mega was up, but I just felt like he probably felt like he needed to be part of that fight more, right? Yeah. If they won the 2v2 fight there, he could have theoretically retreated and then collected it. That said, he still hasn't turned around to collect the Mega.
So he knows it's so out of position. It's like, I can go health up. I can now get even more benefit And it gets even more overstack up to 160 because the Mega Health gives plus 100. And fortuitously managed to find Tox as he passes over bridge.
That's optimization. That's why I'm here and they're there. Bottom. That said though, Liquid, we can't count them out. I mean, actually, it's still doable.
It's so close still. It's so close. But I like that the delay, slightly passive play from AMD. They've managed to more or less keep that lead going. It was 6. It's floated around the 4-5 mark as well. There's one power-up at the end that still can change things. What I need to see from Rapha is to hold that piercing sight. He's going to have a chance for another maybe through the quad. If they manage to get the quad about 5 seconds in, he's probably going to have the piercing sight again. But that's going to be the final push for them in order to try and to tie the game or take the lead or, you know, go 1-1.
Unfortunately, the Rockets didn't hit the mark they were looking for, and I kind of like the prediction to say, right, he's going down near, you know, sort of banana, basically, because if he's just used piercing sight, they're going to know that the only way Rapha's going to have it ready for the quad is if he gets those hourglasses, but he kind of had no choice but to commit and try and simply win the fight. Rapha is going to get one frag, and Dahang is super healthy. Unfortunately, Tempest Shrine is not the kind of map you can take those big rampages with, so we'll see if he can get it. Wonderful rail. Well, need a few more of those.
We should have the piercing side up right now. He's possibly going to be feeding a little bit of information. Our coolers managed to be found on Tribal. We've got just over 60 seconds left in the game. It's not secure for AMD whatsoever. They've got to be careful. Another bullet lockdown. Dahang is on the hunt, but there's only a handful of seconds left. Is he going to find another of the bounce pad? He's got the LGR and still gets it out of the rail! That's tied up the game, 45-45. He's on 1 health. Cooler just holds on to the lead, but there's the refrag immediately.
I cannot believe it. That one double kill may have secured Liquid the amazing comeback. Toxic is going to get a long-range tri-ball, though. Very important indeed. It's now 4 kills versus 3. Who's going to take this?
Tox is available still. There's damage to be done on the other side. 47 apiece. Heavy has now just been taken by Liquid. Is there that light armor behind? Tox needs anything he can get. Being available is terrifying. These angles are just ludicrous. Looks like Cooler's going to fall.
Oh my God.
We got 20 seconds to go. AMD going to get pipped right on the finishing line. Cooler, he gets the refrag off the spawn, but he might have to 1v1 versus Rapha still. Tox, though, is hovering around the heavy machine gun room. And Cooler, he's going to fall, actually. There's less than 10 seconds to go.
He has to commit now. Toxic has spent so much time near Mega.
You got to push. There's no time at all.
Oh, no. Oh, my word. Dahang was the savior of that match. Hands down.
That was insane. How did he get that combo kill?
I don't know.
How's that humanly possible? Physically, how's that robotically possible?
I have absolutely no clue, but I got to say, Tox, I kind of wonder what he was doing near Mega.
Yeah, I mean, Tox overall had a fantastic game. 25 for 20. He looked brilliant. Dahang 28 for 20. But you're right. It looked like that's got to be flustering at the end. Sometimes you're just so in the zone. You're like, you don't realize the time limit that's left, and you feel like, okay, we're still playing for not getting to 50. But Tox, you know, that's a hard one to get over.
That's a tough pill to swallow, but I got it. That one moment with Dahang, I don't even know if we got it on the replay because it was so late, but that one moment of absolute complete clutchness was just... it has been so long since I've seen a moment like that. Has so much weighing on it. Like borderline impossible execution. Borderline impossible shot. Given this is grand finals for a $200,000 land. Come on!
I said it earlier in the tournament as well. I mean, you don't put him up with the biggest pure aimers out of the player list of the world, but you put him out as the person who's going to be the most clutch. He's going to hit the shots when it matters, and again, he's delivering right there. That's unbelievable. That's putting Team Liquid 2 for 0. And coming up next, we look like we've got a small map, so we're going from small to big. And back over to small, as it is going to be awoken, as we'll shortly see.
So it can be a clash of styles, and we did say that depending on who wins the second map, it was going to be a little bit of an information overload, I think. You know, we kind of know that we went extreme small versus extreme large. The one thing to take away is that it was a hard-fought battle by Liquid, and they had to clutch it out, right? That, by all accounts, was AMD's map, and it just wasn't meant to be. You know, they are against the current greatest 2v2 team in the world, but they're going to have to shake it off and forget it ever happened, because now we're going into map 3. It's awoken.
Let's find out who we've got. Like, we have got a Visor and Eisen. Definitely one of the flavors of the tournament, I'd say.
Are we going to call this Visor?
Visor, won't go against that.
I want that petition to be made right now. Someone do it.
Well, we are on top to begin with, and you know, he played such an amazing game, but it's such a shame we have to fall on that sort of anticlimactic moment for him where he maybe could have made a difference when Cooler was fighting, you know, life and limb over on the heavy side of the map. But you know what? Things can be changed. This guy's a champion in his own right, and I have no doubt he can push back just as hard.
I mean, that's the crazy thing about this grand finals. All 4 players here, I mean, they're champions.
Yeah.
Give it, no matter what the Quake is, everyone here has won something major. I mean, the crazy thing we can't forget is that Toxic and Dahang, that was the dual grand finals last year. Toxic's been in the Dreamhack grand finals for 2 years in a row.
Exactly. It's a familiar sight.
We're going to see if the hometown hero can bring home the gold for this very, very, very excited crowd to try and see their boy take it. But right now, it just looks like America is currently reigning supreme yet again.
Well, we crossed the first minute with a tied game 3-3. Again, not too many telltale signs of what the future has for us. But we know that Cooler's got himself the heavy. Rapha just I thought that's a great rockets for him. Is he going to be able to finish off Rapha? Yes, he is. It's time to set up the power. Sorry to interrupt, but they've got to be rushing over very, very soon.
As we can see right now, there is Team Liquid that currently hold fort. They're about to have some abilities on the side of AMD. The piercing sight's going to be really, really important to try and land those rails, of which Cooler should be able to pretty easily pick it up. Oh. And there it is! Cooler gets the rail that he's after.
Oh, it's just down on the bottom. They can't find it. He's looking for the moment that he can drop. It's a great rail shot. And that is Rapha who manages to get the steel. Tox trying to fight through the air, but eventually eliminated. Cooler keeps hitting these pesky rails. And Rapha is subject to so much pressure. Tox eventually takes him down. He's got to go 1v1 with the quad again, and this got to get so frustrating.
It's just I trade one, you get one. To me, to you. To me, to you. Toxic gets destroyed by a wonderful piece of spam rockets there. The quad damage spam is one of the most frustrating ways to die, but I mean, you got to respect it, man. Wise man from Australia once said, got to respect it. And there's the turret down, but it's going to be turret battles here on the heavy. I mean, here it is. I take one, you take one.
Exactly. The trades are fast and furious right now. Rapha, he had the heavy, eventually managed to eliminate Cooler. And, you know, despite the quad going kind of in their way, it felt like there was no quad at all. There you go, Tox and Cooler battling together again. Great signs from them. It's just one frag of difference.
I mean, this is just a brawl right now.
Yeah.
We're not even 3 minutes in, and it's over 20 frags, and it's just continuing to climb. Rapha feeding the information. Quick switch. Daisy, yes please. Here comes the heavy.
It's just great to see so many 2 versus 2 fights, to be honest. They always seem to be together. They always seem to be ready. We're having optimal weapon switches as well. And it's really, really excellent to see. Guys, we're going to jump into liquid comms as well.
Mega 27.
I'm gonna die banana. Okay, I killed one though.
16 heavy, 27 mega.
Okay.
Power up is on the dot.
Both A. Careful, don't commit.
Yeah, keeping position. Flat, heavy, 48. Eisen has it.
Yes.
Flat. Healthy.
Railed him once.
Rocket the other. Okay, concede.
Yes,
Try to
yes.
steal mega. I got it. 0.
Okay.
Going to LG.
Let's go to LG, double LG.
Get
this
the
shit.
armor. Here they come. Tri-bolt is 1. I'm coming back.
Yes.
You take.
I got going to heavy.
Yes.
Now it's just a wonderful interception there. They have the protection, but there's not a huge amount of it left, but there's enough to try and mount some kind of positioning here. Toxic's going to go down, likely to be Cooler as well, as this 2v1 is going to prove too real. Unfortunately, he can't pick up a single kill, and that's more than enough. The Liquid boys, again, making the power-up look like a pussycat.
What a recovery as well. I mean, the power-up is slightly rough for them, but immediately they're back on their feet. They're just not distraught, no frustration, nothing. Just delivering. Dahang has got so many weapons. He took the Mega recently. He's going to get the Heavy. I wonder what kind of 1 versus 2 he can get. He is taking damage, but Tox, he might go down. Cooler drops down from the bottom. They eventually get rid of him, which is super important because he had so many weapons. And for him to have to collect everything again, well, that was a wonderful rail, assisted by piercing sight, but nonetheless.
It kind of just funnels back into how much of a big risk, big reward weapon the railgun is here. You know, we saw those rails on Dahang, 2 shots in a row that failed to connect. It wasted so much time. Rapha had the time to get into position, save Dahang, and then pick up more frags than they bargained for. It's like if they landed, they would not have been in that position. It's such a brave weapon choice at this level of play. Oh, wonderful rocket.
Looks like they both tried to team up on Dahang just then. Cooler falls, Tox falls back. We've got 30 seconds and the quad is going to be spawning. The stacks, no one really holding anything special. The heavy is going to spawn just under 10 seconds before the quad. I wonder if there's going to be a fight over in that area. We have Liquid with only a frag lead, but we're starting to get to those critical moments in the game.
Yeah, Dahang with a suicide, which I assume was a close-range rocket. Cooler's going to drop, but just in time to spawn and then maybe try and fight the power-up with a fresh stack. That said, they're going in together. Rapha has to dedicate him with 2 HP. He has no choice. Toxic sitting on the diehard, and the turret's going to take the damage it needs to do. The quad damage spawns. Cooler has to try, but I mean, the odds are against him. Dahang picks up yet another, and it's Rapha with the quad damage.
That turret did so much for them, blocking the pickup. They had to turn their attention, but it was just so difficult to do that because they're still fighting head-to-head with them up on the rail platform. So in the end, we're going to have a 150-150 stacked Rapha with a quad. This is a thing of nightmares.
Oh my god, how did that even hit? Super shotgun. Very, very good, especially at range with the quad damage. One of the scariest weapons to deal with by far. Now, Team Liquid, they have mounted somewhat of a lead. It's been a very, very back-and-forth match so far, but at long last now, we can take 3 frags in their favor. I think AMD a little bit trapped here. Rapha with a very, very scary stack. Toxic's gonna destroyed by that one. 2v1's forced, of which they can pick it up pretty easily here. And now
he doesn't even get distracted around elbow. He just says, "Oh, you're going through a teleport. Let's see if he follows." I just love the work that they're doing. Getting past the 6-minute mark, we've got a 6 frag lead now. Toxic Cooler, I think they're going to be slightly frustrated having lost the quad, given that they had such a good fight leading up to it. But it's time to forget about that and get on the next wave.
Rapha trying to sort of do a little bit of bonus damage to the totem while he can, but ultimately, seeing as it's not hit scanned, he can pretty much dodge the turret as he sees fit. Gets caught with his pants down there by the super nail gun, but not a huge problem as they still do have an impressive lead. And the time is going to come to try and establish some dominance again on heavy side. We're going to see the power-up spawn soon. It's now going to be time to set up, try and get some good positioning. Oh, what a rocket! Very, very weak now. Cooler gets a kill, but look at how weak the MD boys are. It's a double kill, but at what cost?
Brilliant work there. We're going to get turret dropped up onto railgun. Light armor taken, 5 seconds until heavy. There's just limited ammunition on most weapons. But he has LG to follow up. Shotgun's not a bad choice. Mutual frag in the end. Who gets the heavy ultimately? It looks like Cooler got it. Even going for a rocket jump to do some work. We're now 5 seconds until the protection comes. Is there time for any work on the respawn?
I don't think so. As we can see, AMD, they chose to concede. They tried to sort of go towards Mega instead. They understand that Dahang probably won't have a massive stack. So if they both have an LG and funnel their fire, perhaps it's possible to delete him. Turret's going to give him some information, unfortunately, and this should be pretty unsurvivable. Turret's going to waste a little bit of time, but it's not going to be enough. Using a pummel because it's really all he can do, but somehow still alive. That's pretty impressive, actually.
Oh, he does get the rail on score eventually. There's the one. He can pick him out of the air.
Right there, Dahang must be like, man, these guys just don't die. But now they have, at long last.
Rapha and Dahang are so weak. There we go, Cooler. Finish this job. Rapha is also going to get eliminated. They get rid of the turret. Now it's going to be Tox, who's managing to increase his stack decently. He's actually got loads of health and armor. It looks like he's in a fight. And Dahang, he does have 300 damage over to him, just looking from the champion portraits there.
Again, it kind of just turns around into you can just rely on Dahang to do max damage, to land the crazy shots, and before you can even finish talking about how healthy Tox was, he died. Just like that. Oh, trades out, but again, it's going to be in Liquid's favor while they hold what is becoming a pretty scary lead, especially this late. It's going to be the Mega, but for another time, the Liquid boys are ruling this one. Turret's just going to be a pain in the backside here. They've already collected and already out of there. Dahang is going to secure another frag. Cooler picks up one.
Oh, they're both dropping to get themselves the heavy armor. It looks like Tox managed to get it. He's got a lot of health to work with. Not a huge amount. Looking for the tiniest of rail peaks. Find him up at T. Oh, the rail as well to follow up. Can he land one more? Might not have to. Oh, he does, but the tribal just secures the refrag for him.
It feels like a very frustrating circumstance here. Every single time AMD secure a frag that could be pivotal, it trades. It's either a tribal or it's a rocket, and they even it out. And that's a very frustrating situation to be in here when you really need to sort of mount a comeback, and there it is! Knocked up into the edge of Dahang, gets the easy rail, gets 2 in a row! And now, here comes the quad for another time! But Dahang, weak, should die here, of which he does. Cooler still has one final boss left to go, and it's Rapha with quad damage!
He's just found the heavy armor. He might make a quick circle for some weapons. And he seems pretty content with the rockets. Oh my god, he's got the mega health. He's found another into the light armor block. Has to take a bit of self-damage, actually. Has no rail that he can follow up with. There's 4 frags remaining for Liquid, 12 for AMD. The quad is shortly going to power down.
I think that's going to be the last power-up we see on this map, with Team Liquid having 4 frags left to go. AMD have once again, a bit of an uphill struggle here, which is just crazy to see that Liquid, for me, just tends to be just their control over the major items. They've been way more on top of it. I think that's just because of just how many good frags they're getting that lead into these situations.
Rapha going back down Banana. What they realize is so important is just don't really push control at all. The only way that they give away Awoken is if they stop going for those items. Starts succumbing to the pressure of Tox and Cooler. We're getting an important frag. We can maybe hit the 40 mark for AMD. And that is one step forward. A rail of Rapha that he's got to look out for. He doesn't overcommit to the fight, but Cooler, he might be committed. He still gets the rail. Tox, if he takes a rail shot, he's going down, but they get onto the mega health. Tox is going to be able to power up with that. We haven't had a frag for a while from Liquid.
Yeah, that's a good spawn for Tox. He knows he has a good rail angle. There was no way, I believe that was Dahang up there, is able to actually get a rail, but now he's finally able to pick one up. The defense is coming through. Some rockets unable to hit their mark. Toxic staying on a wonderful stack. Cooler's going to go down though. That's really unfortunate. There's 2 frags left for Team Liquid to take this map and be 3 maps up here in the grand finals. Dahang lands the money shot, and now it's just 1 more.
That's an insane rail. He was on 90 point of health. He was playing chicken now of Tox, but he secures the last frag. Liquid are 3-0 up. This kind of lead in a final is something we're not totally unfamiliar with.
It seems to just be the Liquid way. How many times are we going to see a LAN now where Liquid just collect map after map after map? And if it happens again here at the end of the year, I mean, there's going to be no question. Team Liquid will be the undisputed greatest 2v2 players in the world for the entire year.
Yeah, the last time they dropped the map in a grand final, I think, was the first map of the Dreamhack Tours grand final against Silent 7 Claws.
And that, even in that map that they had dropped, they were getting destroyed at the first half, and then they essentially just kind of screwed their heads onto the the style of Sleep to Awake. And the second they kind of essentially got the download on them, the only reason they didn't win that first map all the way back then was because the lead was too significant. And then every map was just business as usual. And I feel like it's just happening again here.
Well, we do go over to Blood Run after, which is going to be the map pick of AMD. So we'll see if they're going to be able to pull out something here. Because when we went to their last map pick, Tempest Stride, they looked fantastic. But just some malfunction occurred in the late stages of the game. They went too passive. They thought they could just hold that 5 frag lead by hiding, trying to work around Team Liquid, using the piercing sight of Cooler to just get information and then move over to another side map. It didn't work. It's a mistake we've seen in the past from other teams, and I really hope they would avoid it. Now they know they've just got to go absolutely full speed all the time.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised to see Toxic and Cooler trying to adopt a slow style when they feel they can almost change gears, because they are 2 very, very reserved players, especially Cooler. They're famous for that style. And, you know, unfortunately, in the world of 2v2 or anything in Quake, the second you give someone an opening, which the slow style might do, they can run away with it. And no team in the world is better at doing that than Team Liquid. This could be our final map. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Blood Run here. Liquid, AMD. We'll see if it's enough. The Doomslayer actually coming out from Liquid. I assume that's going to be Dahang here, which it is, yep. Double jump on Blood Run, very, very popular. Being able to get to the heavy without sacrificing any self-damage on rocket jumps and the like.
We've got a Ranger pick as well from Cooler, so something else a little bit different. We've had a lot of Eisen, we've had a lot of Visor. We had a Strog briefly at the beginning, but otherwise one of the most colorful compositions that we've had yet.
And there it is, that turret, it's just wasting time. The turret is wasting time. Rapha gets the audio cues, he can put the pieces together to figure out where he's going to be, and he just lines up that rail. Toxic gets one, that heavy. Significantly more dangerous to go for now. The LG was adjusted in the recent patch. Has basically bigger knock-up potential, especially if you get that good read as they jump towards heavy. Cooler, deleted. Some beautiful rockets by Rapha.
Yep, we've got one more rotation of the major items, then we're going to be working towards quad damage time. Cooler and able to take down 1 and 2. He's only got 2 points of health left. There is going to be the mega health sweep, but if he stands in that hallway, he's almost certainly going to take some damage. And we just saw a Liquid player over the other side. Rocket and the rail.
You can see Dahang going in. You can kind of almost like, you know, see the methods here when he's going in with Doomslayer, popping Berserk, purely just to get the instant burst of speed combined with the double jump to try and get in and out, securing the heavy risk-free. Unfortunately, caught in the wrong place, wrong time. Toxic is going to fall to Dahang now. Only has a super nail gun though, so minimal damage versus an LG, of which Cooler is going to pick up the pieces. And now another 1v1 here for the quad damage. Make that 2v1. And now it's going to be AMD collecting that quad more than comfortably.
Really nice work from AMD, actually, and it's a good hold from Cooler as he had to wait for Tox off the spawn. He really, really wants that heavy. Rapha saw it, and maybe he was just feeling a bit greedy, and that frag just means to Tox it's so much reduced danger of getting himself onto a major item.
Just giving him that, you know, stop and go kind of style there. Safe to go, but that was a really respectable quad damage, and AMD with very, very solid lead for one of the first times we've seen them had a lead like this.
Oh, exactly. Brilliant work from them. There's a 2v1 going up versus Cooler for a second, but never mind. Tox is there to the rescue. Cooler will thank him later, I'm sure.
I do wonder if we're going to see Liquid stick with the Doomslayer, to be completely honest. We'll see how effective that sort of Berserk double jump combo is going to be trying to secure these items. If it doesn't seem to do a whole lot, potentially maybe we'll see Dahang swap. Oh, caught in the middle of a nail jump. That is guaranteed death right there.
The timing of that attack for Liquid, that's going to get them back on their feet. So they go from 6 to 8. Now we can start landing somewhere else. We can pick up this frag. It should be an easy mega help. But Cooler looks like he's just making his way over. The Rapha is very weak over in the railgun room, and it looks like Cooler's going to opt to fight him. And Tox finds him on the teleporter exit.
There's definite communication saying he's weak. Go in, but Dahang finally lands a rail. We missed a few of those, unfortunately, but now Toxic pushing a bit too heavy into the fight. Excellent catch on the rail, which he's catching it again. And now only 3 kills separate the two teams, just like that. Liquid, they were behind again, but as history seems to prove, they're catching up. It just feels, it's remarkable how quickly they can do it. Yeah. It really is.
Okay, if we can get another swing of control for AMD, no doubt they can do exactly what they did before. However, this will be about the time where that rhythm can be set, as we've got the protection shortly coming up.
Bit of an odd flick there, almost like the rail went where Dahang didn't want it to go. Almost firing a little bit early too, mid-flick, but here comes that protection. It looks like AMD are in a wonderful position for it. Cooler is going to collect and potentially try to give them a little bit of a bigger lead. The protection can be a pretty dangerous tool on this map, saying how sort of close range the fights can be, but this is where the runaway can take place. Cooler does pick up one. Rapha actually takes out Cooler. Very important. Toxic with the recovery. Good stuff. 100 HP, protection. He'll tank a million rails. Rapha, nice shot.
That piercing sight definitely helping to secure the kill. Gonna find Dahang. That is a lot of nail gun damage. You can just tell Cooler finish him off. Dahang actually ended up suiciding from self-damage.
I would assume it must have been a close-range rocket, right?
Yeah. Could have been. Or nails. Either way, Tox picks Rapha out of the skies. Searching for one on Dahang. He's going to be frustrated because the mega health is behind him, but looks like he didn't have timing. Cooler makes it a mutual frag on that rocket, from that rocket ship projectile that Dahang got. We find him again up this one. 100, 120.
Feels like Liquid, they're kind of struggling to find their footing. It always kind of feels like every time Liquid have an objective in their mind, be it mega, heavy, power up, whatever, it kind of feels like AMD are always there first, in a better position to capitalize.
Got Dahang going incredibly. He's going for that mega help. Tox is going to miss out on the rail, unfortunately for him, and he's pushed through the teleporter a little faster with the rails from Dahang. Most players up at the nail gun room. Tox with some revenge.
That's a nice little combo right there, actually. In fact, AMD now sitting on 23 frags, Team Liquid 17, and that was just, what even happened? Good God.
Wild from Tox. He's not always known for his rockets, but that was spectacular from him. He's going to find another turret and another. Almost 10 frags in the lead. Tox, he's got something to show. He's sick of second places here at Dreamhack Winter.
Oh my good God, I'm never going to get tired of those ridiculous rockets. Excellent knowledge, and now the piercing sight should be able to finish the job. Oh no, he's out rails! That sucks. That really sucks. Oh.
He does actually find the frag onto Rapha, so we've managed to get still a good lead. Dahang's got to be very sort of cautious moving around the corners, because any decent amount of damage, shotgun blast, rocket rail, a whole bunch of things. You know, that spells disaster for him.
Time wasted having to heal up near the blood pools. That really is unfortunate, because even going through this teleport is a massive risk. Not anymore. Now he's been able to restack, but the time required to even get that is pretty unfortunate. Should be able to get this second frag pretty easily. I love the double jump through the hallways, that predictive rocket, where he's going to go straight over that. One of the strengths of Doomslayer, that double jump makes it so hard to rocket the ground against him.
Rapha incredibly weak though. Ended up being a very good run. And it's a shame that we were seeing Tox on an absolute spree, but he had just run out of ammo at the wrong moment. It was just a second or two late, really, to do anything else in the quad fight. And so that 8-9-10 frag lead that AMD had is starting to slip away. And we're getting into that moment in the game where Liquid, they go into that next gear.
I mean, we've reached that point, halfway point for AMD, and that's pretty much unlocking the stage 2 of Team Liquid, as it were, which Dahang, unfortunately, is not going to take any damage as he hits that rail, so it's a free frag. In essence, it's the shot versus Cooler. Cooler in a wonderful position, actually kind of dodged that second rail, which is why Dahang's had to swap weapons, but Cooler just way too weak. You can definitely tell that LG swap was Rapha saying, switch, he's weak. Don't bother with rail.
Again, acquiring a huge stack, going to find them from behind. Rail, oh, just popped up from that shot over there from AMD. Guys, we're going to jump into some AMD comms as we lead up.
Both rocket, they are passive at rocket. Yep.
Watching Mega. Rocket. Buff rail. 1A. 1A.
Killed Rapha. Stay quad.
Yep.
Already on quad.
I'm dead.
Yeah. Fuck.
Upper shotgun. One at rail. Power up at rail.
And it's kind of looking to me like that stage 2 Team Liquid is starting to rear its ugly head again.
Yeah. I feel like some of the pushes onto power from AMD are just... they're cutting it too fine going into the room at the last minute. We saw Cooler waiting on the heavy, I believe, and it was not going to spawn till basically the same time that protection spawned. He wasn't able to be there to support a teammate. Maybe he was Tox on there heavy for Cooler, if my memory serves me correct. But Dahang, again, it seems to always see him when he's got full natural armor. But Cooler's nail gun works. It's magic there, but now they're chasing Liquid's lead.
But again, it kind of feels to me like those little acts of punctuation where it's, we must be at this location at the exact same time. Liquid are just a little bit more seasoned at being in those positions. AMD, they've had wonderful teamwork, and the reason they had such a big lead at the beginning was because every time Liquid tried to go for something important, AMD were there first, and they capitalized, and they punished, and then they collected the item they were after. I feel like that's kind of slowed down. Liquid have kind of almost flipped that on its head, and it is coming down to these small little decisions to hang. Can technically land a rail and maybe save the day here. Rapha comes up behind this damage. That's why Dahang's going to take the opponent to go in. Wonderful Mega pickup and a pivotal item, I think. Right as they've died, he's got Mega as if nothing ever happened.
It's the timing for it. Just as the Mega spawns, he's able to make it a positive 2-for-1 trade. 2-for-1. I mean, it's music to their ears. Going to find another off of the teleporter exit. Oh, the rail's narrowly going to miss. More pressure now from Cooler with the machine gun.
Oh my God.
Rapha's rockets. That helps seal the deal in that fight. We've got quad damage coming up in 10 seconds, guys. This is going to be really, really important. We need AMD to have some presence here. Cooler, he's got hold of one. He's got a turret in position. He's waiting there. Tox is going to get the gauntlet frag. AMD are not out of this as Cooler. He's got a quad to play with.
There's that moment where Toxic's going to have to split up. I think he's going to have to be the one heading them off as they retreat away from Cooler. The danger is that Cooler, he's very weak. It's important that rail did not connect, otherwise that heavy would have been a guaranteed death. Now he can maybe try and hit some of those rail angles. They're going to be definitely running away. Cooler's going to opt to go for his long-range weapons, I think. There's unlikely he's going to just run into them. And a wonderful job of evading the quad. It is going to give AMD some control, though. You have to be so risky to sit there and fight. Have to concede maybe some heavy. Depends on how early they can get back into the center of the map. But right now, it looks like AMD are in control here.
Yeah, really, really good positioning from Liquid to not give up too many kills during that power-up run. You can see that for a period. Oh my God, the combos from Cooler. There is a turret. They'll get rid of that very quickly. Now they can push on through past the rockets of Rapha. Oh, the follow-up rocket from Rapha. Tox isn't able to get around the corner to get the refrag. And Dahang secures it for Liquid. We're only 10 away, Ketchup.
Here we go, folks. This is the judgment point. Toxic is able to pick up a kill on Rapha. They're only slightly behind, but I'm very concerned. 9 kills away. Could almost be 8. We'll see if it's going to be enough here, but could have saw potentially a 4-0. What's going on? Rapha getting the entry rail to hang. Picking up pieces there with the LG. And now just 7 kills remaining, and Team Liquid are going to be the champs here. Rapha's very, very weak.
I feel like the amount of times I've seen him with stacked health is unreal. Nailgun does a lot of damage. Tox, he manages to get a 2-for-1, but there's no mega health left for you, mate. He's so low right now. He needs to either find some health bubbles, or in 5 seconds time he's going to have to go for the forced respawn. Player outside the corridor. He's found 225, so there could be a saving grace for Tox. He's also got ammunition for his rockets. He should really look at holding this position after the damage on Heavy.
I mean, the problem with Tox is that he had to waste so much time just to become healthy enough to fight for the Heavy. Unfortunately, he got hit by that defensive rail, which Dahang was able to land, but it's the protection. This could be the final power-up of the game. Right now, it's going to be in Cooler's favor, but he's getting focused down. Dahang is going to fall. Toxic falls as well. This is so pivotal. It's so dangerous.
He really needs lightning gun. He needs another weapon. There's not much that he can do with only machine gun. Okay, he's found some rocket ammunition. There's another on the other corridor. There's Heavy that he can take, and I think he's just seen both of them. So Cooler, he has absolutely got to rush right now. Look at Tri-Bolt, but he's got 4 rockets, so they've all got to be spent wisely. And he's just bouncing Rapha. That they've got to make a recovery with 8 kills. Only 3 frags are needed for Liquid.
There's going to be no more power up in sight. This is going to have to be a nice and traditional fight here. Cooler gets the Mega. Unfortunately, kind of looks like Toxic's forced into a 1v1. Dare I say 2v1 because of the distance. Rapha with the SSG kill. Now there's 2 kills left to go. This is so vital. Watch out, Dahang! He's going to get a nail. 1 more frag, and we're going to have our grand champions here.
Cooler, he's able to slow it down for just a second. Tox is down over at the Mega hallway. Cooler, he's going to go into a fight now. Is he going to be able to fend off Dahang, who's been stunning this game?
This is an insane moment. Here we go, the 2v2. Multiple angles to hit. Unfortunately, Cooler hasn't really got the tools to get the job done. I'm wondering how this one's going to go. Here it is, close range. Cooler, he's got to watch out, and it's not going to work out. Team Liquid continuing their dominance and ending 2018.